Hello. I hope everybody is doing really well. Just getting started. I think we're going to have a really good conversation today and take a look at some propaganda because there's a lot out there. Who knew? So I'm just grabbing some screens so that we can take a look. As Twitter has changed my life in so many ways because now you can have like more engaging. I feel like now that I'm using Twitter more because I was using Instagram a lot more. But you can have much more engaging, conversations and break things down and take a look because people are very, very interesting. Hello. Hey, everybody. Yes, we're about to break it down. We're gonna get into it. We had a pretty interesting week this week, especially with the whole like submarine fiasco. But I did a live on that yesterday on my locals. So if you want to take a look at that, you can definitely check out my locals. Um, it's in my bio on YouTube. But we're gonna take a look at some other pieces of propaganda which I think are more intense. Yeah, so I'm just getting some screens together and then I'm going to turn the camera on in just a second. But hopefully you can see the background. Let me jump in and see what it looks like. Check the playback. But yeah, just cover some fun topics tonight, this week in propaganda, because we already know that there's so much great propaganda that we've seen. I mean, it's just been crazy. And I think the whole struggle session with the poor Moms for Liberty, let's disclaimer, by the way, Moms for Liberty is definitely a terrorist organization according to the Southern Poverty Law Center. So we can't really feel too bad for them. But we've had some interesting stuff going on. Okay, let me grab that. I'm watching, and I've been a loyal viewer for a long time, and the only most struggle session I see I'd like to watch for. Oh, God. Okay, that's an interesting way to put it. Hey, Jojo. Hey, everybody. Hey, Mask. How is everybody doing? Today is a good day. Let me just grab these screens because I wanted to wait till everybody screens in. But I don't know. Maybe you guys could throw out what you think, what you've seen that's been crazy this week. Because for me, I'm just like, okay, more of the same, more of the most ridiculous. Yeah, TMI. TMI. There's been a lot. But I feel like the whole psyop with the submarine was pretty interesting because, again, I talk about them more on my locals because I don't know what YouTube will talk about, will get upset about. But I think it's all pretty clear by now that the whole thing with the submarine was a psyop. Okay, just getting everybody in. Just waiting for everybody to join because it's always an interesting week. But this is the real time. Okay, let's see. Is this gonna go over? Okay, there we go. Hey, everybody. How's it going? How is it going? I'm excited for the weekend. Thank you all for coming in. So let's get started with a very interesting little attack that I think is a perfect example. It's such a perfect example of the left. Their endless insanity, their endless hypocrisy, their endless pursuit of pushing this narrative. It's just no. It's just no. It's just a no for me. I can't. And also, I want to talk about, thanks. Thank you so much. Also, I want to talk about Australia. Because every time, I don't know about you, but Australia could feel like it just is the example of craziness that has befallen the whole Western world. And I don't even think we can count New Zealand anymore. I mean, they're just now reverted back to being a colony, a scary, scary colony. Like, I mean, New Zealand is not okay. But let's just start off with this story of the poor, poor people at the Southern Poverty. Oh no, the poor, poor Moms for Liberty. And how they are very much and very definitely under attack, under poor attack. Okay, so here's the story. So they've introduced this, I think they're in Indiana. Yeah, Hamilton County, Indiana. And they went ahead and wanted to produce a newsletter. Okay, so when we look at propaganda and the left and their tactics, it's really important to understand everything that they're doing, why they do it, how they do it. Because it doesn't make sense to us. It doesn't seem rational or real, but I mean, like, it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be. Australian Sky News. Oh yeah, Australia is crazy to listen to. But here we go. The Southern Poverty Law Center has labeled them, a terrorist organization, and we have to just agree with that because I mean, how could we not? How could we not? Okay, let me get into. Actually, I want to before I start talking, let me put my Instagram on because I wanted to stream on Instagram too because I want people to hear. I want people to hear and know what's happening. I want people to know. I want them to see. I want them to see. I need to figure out this camera because I don't like the proportions. All things YouTube are honest, trustworthy, and honest. Yeah, of course. I don't understand what's wrong with you and why you wouldn't think that. Everything that YouTube does, literally everything they do, all of their narratives, everything they say is good for the people. It's fair. It's right. It follows the science. Okay? It follows the science. And yeah. What else? I don't know. What other phrases do I have to do? Hey, what's up, philosophist? Okay. We're just getting started. We have not gotten started. I'm just putting on my Instagram because I want to stream really quick before we get too started because I have a lot of people on Instagram that I don't really know where to find me sometimes. Yeah, YouTube is definitely the benevolent tyrant. I love YouTube. I love everything they do. I respect them. What else? I don't know. I'm trying to think of all the things I can say. Because there's just so much good to say. Let me get on here. Oh, yes. Okay. Other phrases. We trust this. Oh, yes. We trust the science. That's a big one. Trust the science. We definitely trust the science. We trust all the science. All of it. And science, again, we're going to get into that story later. But science also is not something you debate, okay? Science is not something you debate. Like, you don't debate the science. Like, hello. You don't do that. You don't do that. You don't debate the science because there's no debate. I mean, especially when we've got people who are the science. There's nothing to debate. There's nothing to debate. Okay, so let me put that there. Okay, everybody can come in if they want to come in. So it's just, science, absolute, of course. Okay, so the first story I want to cover today on this YouTube stream is the whole situation that happened with the Moms for Liberty, because I think it's a really good case study. It's a really good case study to explore. Jojo, science is about asking questions and providing or disproving questions. It is Jojo, no. We know that the science is settled, okay? Let me do my Kamala laugh. The science is settled, okay? It's about togetherness, and the science is settled. The science is settled. The science is settled. Let me just keep saying those words over and over again. But do you have to pay off to become a scientist? I think you have to go through historically marginalized communities do need to be paid off. So the whole tactic with the Moms for Liberty thing is just so brutal. So brutal what they did to them. It's just so unfair that these women, these moms are being attacked this way. Obviously, we know what their intentions are. They're not a hate group. They just are not Marxist. So, yeah. Yeah, I need my Kamala laugh. My Kamala laugh is necessary because, she's so brave and so strong. Why would I not want to be just like her? Why would I not? If a guy, oh my God, Praxis. Yeah, no. You are whoever you identify as, okay? Officially. Thank you. So basically, Moms for Liberty. And if you want to join on YouTube, you can check us out. You check this out, the stream. It's on YouTube. You can find me at Propaganda Fluent, where you can see all the little things that I'm referencing, because we've got clips and stuff. Not Marxist equals hate group. Yes, exactly. So Moms for Liberty put out this newsletter, and immediately they jumped on it, because in the newsletter they quoted a very, very bad man, like a really bad man. He's so bad. And he's so bad. He's a historical figure. It changed the course of society. It changed America. It changed the world. But you can't mention that group or those people or those individuals. You can't learn about them because that is hateful to learn those things, even though we're supposed to learn history. But this kind of history, no. This kind of history, no. So in this newsletter that they designed, the moms, and owns the youth gains the future. Now that's what they were quoting. And as you know, that is not okay. That is not allowed. That's not okay. You can't do that. You can't do that. Not Thomas Jefferson. But soon, probably once they, if they get their way soon, they would definitely ban Thomas Jefferson. I mean, he was racist. He was a slave owner. No, we can't talk about that. Layla would have to talk to me. What? Okay. So they put this here, as you can see, it's circled, and immediately Twitter and everybody just went crazy about it. It was just the worst thing. I can't believe they would do that. I can't believe they would publish this. Like, how could they publish this? Was that a quote by Jeffrey Epstein? No, it's not a quote by Jeffrey Epstein. That was not. That was from another guy. He's older, a different guy, but still bad. Still really, really bad. So this is how they designed it. So they designed it. They put the quote here. Several things wrong with the way they put this here. Just like, I don't think they're a professional designer. I think they're like the best design team on the planet. I don't think that's what they are. I mean, obviously that's the standard you need to have, but they put the quote in as like a reference point without any context. So they didn't have the context. They just put it in. I think it's an important quote to have. I think it's an important quote to understand, because that's one of the fundamentals of this, parasitic entity we call the woke left. They have to gain youth. I mean, besides being what you might consider a death cult, because they're not focused on life and reproduction, as you know. Well, they are focused on reproductive rights to do certain things, but they're not all about the kids. They're not all about having babies, and they're not all about that. What they are all about, though, is indoctrinating children and making sure they have captured the institutions that could educate and inform the children and the young people, because that is critical. You see it in the Mao, you see it in the communist China during the Maoist revolution, the People's Republic of China, their revolution. They very much target the schools. The Red Guard were instrumental in carrying out the revolution, which some could claim didn't go well, but I don't want to be accused of anti-Asian hate. So maybe it went well, maybe it didn't. You would think that a death toll around a couple million might not be the best, but it's what it is. It's fine. It's fine. I can't even bring out the Camila laugh. It's so hard. Kamala laugh. But it's fine. It's fine. It's no big deal. So there's this whole push, and very important push, to make sure communism is not something that's taught about and young people aren't educated about the downfalls, because it's great. It's fine. I mean, we've never even had communism. We've never even had it. It's never even happened. Okay. Just a couple experiments that some could claim didn't go so well, whatever. No big deal. No big deal. Stop. Calm down. Just calm down, please. I really wish you guys would calm down. You guys are making this such a big deal, but it's just whatever. Some people, it's whatever. Just cope. Some say they're communists. So yeah. Who was a people person? Joseph Stalin. Yeah. He's a great guy. Anyway, so they put the quote in here because we want to be educated on the leftist tactics. We want to keep in mind that, and Karlin Borinsenko, she pronounces her name properly. I do not, but she's a prominent speaker on the whole left and everything, and she really highlights and drills in that that's why the school and the education and the school boards and all those things are really, really crucial and very important. Very true. Younger generations aren't familiar with communism or socialism. They aren't even familiar with MLK. No. We've never had true communism, I know. It's just we're trying. They're trying things out. No big deal. Stop. So, he alone who owns the youth gains the future. This is a very important quote to understand and conceptualize and get an idea and watch out for, because it's true. The ultimate goal is that the children belong to the state. The ultimate goal is that children shouldn't be part of, they shouldn't be part of family units. Who needs a family? Like, it's ridiculous. Who needs no? Because again, if you need your fresh crop of adherents, you need your fresh members. You need to be able to indoctrinate them. You need to make sure they are 100% tied to the state. We are your family now. Exactly. So true. We are your family now. And yeah, so they don't want that taught. And Moms for Liberty just wanted to call that out, essentially. They just wanted to recognize that that's what's happening. They wanted people to be able to see it. Unfortunately, they're not the best graphic designers. They didn't put it in context. So the left took this opportunity to completely go psycho crazy, go absolutely insane. And it's interesting to see some of the tweets and how people respond to this. Everything is woke. Yeah, I try to, Felix, I try to take the good and leave the bad. And she had some really good material for sure. But yeah, I get what you're saying, Felix. I get what you're saying. Pol Pot in Cambodia did with this children. They were ideologically pure, cost 1.5 million lives. I know. Yeah. The Pol Pot in Cambodia was definitely disturbing. Definitely disturbing situation. No wonder they still work with, North Korea. Man. Yeah. This is the world we live in. Our kids makes me physically ill. It makes me very physically ill as well. It's pretty disturbing. So if you don't think that's the case, there's lots of clips, and I should put a compilation about that together. But here's one example. Not sure why the parents... Here we go. There it is. How do I... Okay. Not sure where this parents should control... This is from the Michigan Democratic Party. This is a tweet they put out, apparently. Not sure where this parent should control what is taught in schools because there are our kids originated, but parents do have the option to choose to send their kids to a hand-selected private school at their own expense if this is what they desire. The purpose, and this is not fake, Michigan Democratic Party, very important. The purpose of public education in a public school is not to teach kids only what parents want them to be taught. No, it is to teach them what society needs them to know. Yeah. The purpose of education in a public school is not to train you to be a good, let's say a good factory worker. This one goes faster. Yeah, it's, YouTube has a delay. But it's not to teach the kids how to be good factory workers because, that's originally what it was designed for. Public school is actually to teach them what society needs them to know. And as we know, what society actually means, what the woke left wants them to know, what the Neo-Communists want them to know. And the Neo-Communists definitely want them to know some pretty insane things. The client of the public school is not the parent, but the entire community. It's the entire community. This is for us as a collective, the whole community. It's for the whole community, you guys. What is wrong? What's wrong with you? You don't like wait. You don't like community? That is very, and dare I say, because this doesn't come off very often, dare I say, that sounds very white supremacist of you. Okay? Because that's a very white supremacist idea, worldview, okay? Because the individual rights, like your allegiance to having individual rights, no. Just no. your body, and it's about the society, and it's about the good of the youth and the nation. No. So please, I know you haven't heard that. I know that the left doesn't often bring up no, they don't often bring up white supremacy, but they don't bring up supremacy much. But I think the idea that your kids belong to you, that you have a right to possess, and you don't have to do everything for the community. No, this is all about us as a collective. That's why it's called communism. It's all about the collective. And if you look at where they went crazy with this, oh, cool, I can zoom in. You just look at some of these, like, you search for it, just look at it. Just the first version of the newsletter included the quote, "He alone who owns the future gains the future," and is cited by Hitler. I don't know if I can say that name. While the origin of the quote is not entirely clear, it's been attributed numerous historical texts. It's 1923. Just no, not okay. So, first article, Moms for Liberty chapter apologized for quoting him. Far-right group Moms for Liberty tries to explain the use. There's no explanation. You don't quote historical figures who changed society, and it would be important to understand their philosophies and tactics, especially when we're going through our own cultural revolution right now. And this is something I think that a lot of you need to make sure you use and start to pick up, and that this is a cultural revolution. We're in the middle of the cultural revolution, the education phase of the cultural revolution. That's what's happening. The propaganda we see, everything we see, this is the process of the Cultural Revolution. They're educating, indoctrinating, teaching, forcing, shaming everyone who doesn't want to go through the learning session of it, but keep holding out. I hope you keep holding out. They apologize. Yeah, they apologize. I would never apologize. No. Because, they have to say this because they have to say that they have to blow this up and use this as a propaganda message and use this as part of their whole thing, because what do they say? All these people, they're Nazis, they're fascists, they're Nazis, they're fascists. The projection of the woke never stops and will never cease. And they're Nazis, fascists. So anything they can to say that and sort of, reinforce that storyline, because it is a storyline. It's a made-up storyline. That's what propaganda is, a made-up storyline. They're going to use it. So, okay. An Indian chapter of Moms for Liberty, a nonprofit that advocates for parental rights. Look how they put in the quotation. Parental rights. It's just some bizarre concept, isn't it? Isn't that? Yeah, Shane. Apologies are blood in the water to them. Yep. Parental rights, this is so weird. In education, and was recently labeled an extremist by an anti-hate watchdog. Yeah. Is apologizing and condemning their quote. No. They used a Nazi leader quote. Yeah, no. They condemned him. They always used to say, we've not quoted him New Year's. We should not. Oh, and then they went ahead, and this is not a good thing to do. They went ahead and said, we shouldn't have used his quote. Why shouldn't you? Why shouldn't you? Why shouldn't you use a quote? It's a historical quote. It's context. It's a reference to someone and their strategies and methods. That's what they were doing. They were calling it out. Why? So this is what conservatives always do. They always, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. They admit guilt. They backtrack. They cry. They grovel. It's ridiculous. It's a terrible strategy. It makes no sense. It's stupid. And they're never going to like you because they don't like you. Because they're Marxists. They're never going to start. Oh, they're going to be, oh, wait. Oh, my God. Wait a second. Oh, they didn't mean to. Oh, actually, let me get some context and let me further understand why they did this and maybe, appreciate No, they don't like you. They don't like you because you're anti-communist. You're anti-Marxist. You don't believe that the state should be owning children. So they're never going to like you. Like, there's nothing you can do. Like, stop apologizing. Please stop apologizing for referencing a historical figure. Stop. Don't apologize. Every time you apologize to these psychopaths, you're admitting guilt. Don't admit guilt. Do they ever admit guilt? Have you heard one time? Can you think in your head one time a leftist group has apologized, has admitted guilt, has said, "Oh no, we didn't mean to do that. Oh, I'm so sorry." No, they don't. Because they know that's stupid. They're much better. Yes, there's a big difference between tolerance and right and wrong. Exactly. So stupid. So they get to publish this. Oh, see? Just so bad. So the newspaper, the quote from, so the newspaper and everything, the newspaper and news coverage was about this and everything. They blew this up. The quote from a horrific leader should put parents on alert. The updated version read, "If the government has control over our children today, they will control our country's future. We, the people, must be vigilant and protect children from an overreaching government." By Thursday morning, the chapter had removed those versions and posted a new copy of the newsletter, replacing the quote with the chair's apology. Guess what? It's not going to win you any brownie points. They're never going to respect you. Stop trying to appease. It will never make them rational. Exactly. Stop. Just stop. Conservatives, please stop. Don't apologize. Time for me to go to Rumble. I'm on YouTube right now. No. Just stop. Never give them an inch. You constantly always backtracking. You're constantly, oh, I want to seem right. I want to seem good. Oh my God, I don't want to seem rude. They're propagandists. They can make you seem rude from doing anything. They can make you seem rude and evil and hate-filled by like simply wanting, as this thing said, as they quote and have put quote unquote parental rights. That can make you an evil, bad person. That makes you an extremist. That makes you a right-wing extremist. Yeah, they will always hate you. Exactly. So stupid. I just don't get it. I just don't get why. I just don't get why they have to do this. I don't get why they just. I don't get it. It's disgusting to me. It's disgusting to me to see conservatives or just anyone who's not for the woke leftist agenda just trying to appease and apologize and let me compromise. How about let's compromise? Let's compromise. Yeah. Compromising with authoritarians, compromising with communists, with neo-Marxists, with these cult people of the woke is not going to happen. It's never going to happen. It's just not. You can redirect their accusations. You can do a lot of things. You can redirect it. You can, how about a moral, responsible, normal person? A normal, responsible, moral person is always going to be hated by this group. Hello. If you don't view yourself as someone on this victim pyramid, the victim hierarchy, you will be hated. They don't like people who say simply that they're not victims. That's a sin. Like if I say, oh, I'm not a victim, that excommunicate. That's me being internalizing whatever whiteness or whatever. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. And you see, they just take it and they use it and they push it. I mean, they have They put a quote in a newsletter and they're making a video about it. I don't know if you can hear it. I don't think you. Ooh, inclusion. And we know what inclusivity means. We know that they do the left number one thing is doublespeak. We know that. We know all of these terms mean, something different than what they say. Because, they have to use the doublespeak because it's really important that you use the doublespeak because then they can set you up to respond to it and say, oh, we don't support this. And then they can say, oh, you don't support inclusivity? Oh, you guys are bigots and you're racist. I'm going to be going over actually this book, Doublespeak, as part of the whole discussion the video that I'm making, one of my next videos coming up. Because the doublespeak is super crucial because then they can hide their agendas behind the words. They mean one thing, but they really mean another. Doublespeak is that's one example of the doublespeak, but they literally just invert everything. That's like one of their most important tactics is inversion. And this is something, not to go up too far track, but the left has to invert everything. Some people say they're satanic. What is that? That's inversion. They love to invert things. They love to invert the meanings. They can't create things. Okay? So they're not about creating. They're not about life. They're about all they can do is like really invert and claim it for themselves, like flip it around. And through that process, it's very occult, and that's the occult side of the whole Marxist woke agenda that a lot of people are not really prepared to go into. But yeah, thanks for joining. Yeah, it's bad. Just just so bad. And they took this and ran with it, and they just love it. They love the opportunity to have any example to reinforce, their narrative that it's just a hate group. They just hate. They're evil. They hate. They hate. They hate. They hate. It's just like, okay, whatever. Who cares? Like, it's history. Like, it's history. What is your problem? Like, we're adults. There's never a time. There's never a time. There's never a time you can use it. It's like, why? Ugh. Why? God, it's so disgusting. I'm just so disgusted by it. And the people on Twitter just like, ugh. Like, just like this relentless, they're like pit bulls. If you notice that the left is like pit bulls, they never let things go. If they can just take whatever you say, they won't let it go. They won't let it go. And this is a good like example. Here's some. He said a bad thing. Oh my God, why are you on his side? Like this, literally the rage that went off. So bad. We should be really careful about historical quotes. We just cannot use them. So yeah, it's a good example. It's a really, really good example of how they will manipulate everything you do for their advantage. They're really good at that. They're really, really good at that. That's why they're so predominant. They're really good at controlling narratives, flipping the storyline, reframing things, moving the goalpost, just whatever it is. Just whatever it is. And they did this a lot too, where they had this woman, they posted this was everywhere. Like every time I saw the article, they were like, this member of the hate group was appointed to Hamilton City Council to the Liberty Board and now running for Fisher City Council at large. We need to keep extremists out of the government. Nazis, quote, Nazis. This is not new. What's new is trying to remake them into moms who care, which is so fake. Just stupid. So stupid. Those who fail to learn from history are doomed to repeat. Yeah, no, definitely. Pit bulls are loyal and adorable. Not like pit bulls. Yeah, sorry. That was wrong for me to disparage the pit bulls like that. That's wrong. They're more like crocodiles. They just never let go. Well, I think I stated this before. They're opposite of the Christian virtue. So being wrathful all the time is one of their tenets. Yeah. Yeah. No, definitely. It's so sad. It's so sad to see. The reason they call child predators maps, it's repackaging. Yeah, they have to repackage everything. They have to repackage, invert, distort, just to get their message across, because we know what their agenda is, but they can't come out and say it right now. They can't say that right now. They can't do that. You can't just go directly to it. Because no. You have to lull the masses into believing that they're on the side of right. Until it's too late. Until it's too late. Until there's no going back. And if you try to go back, you get to go back in a body bag. It's so bad. It's so bad. But yeah, so I thought that was a really good example of what extremes they will take in terms of pushing their narrative and pushing their propaganda. Because obviously, people need to understand history. Obviously, you should be able to quote people. Obviously, we should be able to do a myriad of things. But we can't do that because they'll reframe it and flip it and do what they need to do with it. So, I also... So here's something that I thought was also really interesting that I found online. Speaking of, oh yeah, Yosef, we can't talk about Mr. Yosef, the bigger the lie. We can't talk about that. I actually got flagged for posting something like that. I actually got flagged. I posted a quote and I got I got a little mark on my Instagram. So disturbing. I can't stand that. But anyway, speaking of, not going back and indoctrination, I saw this really interesting clip um, of this program happening in Australia. And when I tell you, it looks like a struggle session. It looks like a struggle session, like on a whole new level. So Australia is the model for Australia, they're very good people. I don't know. It's hard for me to say which is worse, Australia or Canada. I mean, it's so hard to say. I feel like Canada is a bit. I don't know. You guys, we need to have a poll because I don't know which one is more of a leftist hellhole, Australia or Canada. I think in Canada, can they still? I mean, at least they can still own the guns. I don't know. But in Australia, they have a program.
While the visitors get their first taste of Islamic prayers, it's come to Ahmed's attention that Isaac isn't dressed properly for the occasion.
Pull your socks up a bit more. In prayer, he had his socks under his knees and he was wearing shorts, so his knees were showing. And in Islam, you need to have from your belly button to your knees covered to be praying, and his knees were showing. So I asked him if he can pull his socks up to cover it up.
Good. Yeah. Look at this boy.
Sometimes in or abroad.
This poor little white boy. Oh my God. He is just.
Sometimes in trying to educate others in our values, we may come across as rude or abrupt. And that is a concern I have with some of our students. And that is something which they have to learn how not to do.
Why? I don't understand.
I have never prayed before. I've never even thought about it. But I've meditated before. And it was really nice just sort of being in the room with them and having that unity of everyone doing something together at the same time and doing the same thing. And it felt really...
Ugh, look at this poor little boy.
Unity of...
When I tell you this little boy, he looks so traumatized. What is going on? Somebody, I would blink twice if you need help. They're not gonna let him go. Poor little boy. He's just, yeah.
Everyone doing something together at the same time and doing the same thing. And it felt really together.
Together. Felt together. We're together. We're doing things together. Why? Just, it's almost as if, I would hope, I would think that they might do this as well for, Christians. Would they? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think they would do this for forcing them to go to church because number one, the Muslims wouldn't do it. They just wouldn't do it. They would say no. And number two, because we know why. But I don't get this whole thing of the whole Muslim thing. Do they know that Muslims aren't really down for the agenda? I guess the brownness overweighs. I don't know. I don't get it. Muslim people don't like any of this stuff. They think that all of this is a sin. What? Why do they want to lump them in together? Just really, it's who thought that out? Who said that would work? It just doesn't. But whatever. Yeah. This isn't, forcing. This isn't forcing. No, not at all. Not at all. This is all equity. This is all inclusion. This is all love. This is all love. This is all good. We need this. They've already started in Canada. I know. So sad. So yeah, I mean, that's great. And then I also, how their religion works. You need to understand their religion, how their religion works. I don't know. I don't think that's the point. I don't think that's the point. I don't think this is about, they use it as a tool. Yeah, they're definitely using it as a tool. It's disgusting to see. Australia, poor people. Temporary lines. I don't know. Yeah, it's a religion and a political movement and a way of life. I don't know what they're doing. Marginalized groups. Yeah, I guess they're marginalized. Oh, God, it's so bad. It's so bad. But here we go, the poor people. And then I saw also, and we love to see it. We love to see the kids being forced. We love to see that. The forced inclusion. Traumatizing, like they don't want it. No. But here we go. So, we have to continue this. We need to understand. We need to sympathize. We need to be all one group. Okay? We need to get it. And everybody needs to be helped. All of these marginalized groups need to be helped. And, this is something I think we need to empathize with more. And I saw this video on, some of the challenges that fat people experience. And I thought it was a really interesting
Fat people
video.
experience that would send thin people into a coma, travel edition. Needing a seatbelt extender or anything related to the plane in general. Do we fit in the seats? Does the tray come down? Packing a carry-on bag.
Because we have to sympathize with them. Okay? We have to change society to accommodate them. Did you hear me? So we need to sympathize. And they keep putting this media out. They keep putting this stuff out as if they're trying to make it normal. As if it's trying to be like reasonable or normal, and it's not. It's just ridiculous. No. We're not going to change society to fit you.
Only our clothes are big, so they take up a lot more room. So that means we take less in a carry-on bag than a thin person. Going to Europe in general or any place that is fat phobic, you get the gist.
Oh, did you know that Europe is fat phobic? Did you know the medieval streets are fat phobic as well and ableist?
Theme park rides, do we even fit in them?
Why did they not develop theme park rides to accommodate people of that size? It is so shut them all down. Shut all the
Tell you firsthand, if you are a big girl, you are not going to fit in any Universal Studios ride.
Ooh, if you're not a big girl, yeah, because of safety and like physics.
Losing your luggage. If you're in a place that does not have any plus size clothes and you went to the airport in sweatpants, girl, that's all you're wearing. Chub rub. If you're walking a lot, are you wearing a dress? Are you wearing pants? Because if you're wearing a dress, you need to wear some shorts, put some balm, something.
So walking, you guys, walking is fat phobic. Walking is really bad. And we need to get upset about it because they have chub rub and their thighs rub together. So you guys need to do a better job of accommodating them. Please.
Dress, you need to wear some shorts, put some balm, something.
Don't they walk on a regular basis? No, I'm sorry. Like, I just can't. Why aren't you walking more often? Like, why does this have to do? What? Wouldn't this just be a regular thing that you're walking, like you're physically moving your body?
Towels or robes, are you bringing your own? Because we already know they're not going to fit around your body. Fat people experience that would send thin people into a coma, travel edition. Needing a seatbelt extender or anything related to the plane in general. Do we fit in the seats? Does the tray come down? Packing a carry-on bag only. Our clothes are big, so they take up a lot more room. So that means we take less in a carry-on bag than a thin person. Going to Europe in general or any place that is fat phobic, you get the gist. Theme park rides, Do we even fit in them? I will tell you firsthand, if you are a big girl, you are not going to fit in any Universal Studios ride. Losing your luggage. If you're in a place that does not have any plus size clothes and you went to the airport in sweatpants, girl, that's all you're wearing. Chub rub. If you're walking a lot.
Okay, I can't. Those two, those are the ones. Those two on the list. The fact that Europe is fat phobic, okay, because they're fat phobic for having medieval cities and just being a nation of people who aren't, hundreds and hundreds of pounds overweight. Yeah. And the chub rub of fat. Okay, yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's okay. And we might, we laugh at it and we think it's funny and it's ha whatever, but it's really, really crucial that we understand how bad and how evil these types of media and content and influences are, because they're indoctrinating children. They're teaching and they're normalizing this type of thing. They're saying this is normal. This is how we feel. This is hashtag chug bro. This is how we feel. This is how we articulate our ridiculousness. This is how we articulate. This is all the problems. This is all the things they're doing to us. They're doing this to us. Who? Who's doing this to you? Who? Who's making you this size? I don't understand. If a person climbs a tree and the branch breaks the tree, yes, obviously. The tree is fat phobic. If it does not handle. Oh, weight scales were invented by the white man, so they are supremacists and patriarchal. Yeah, obviously. BMI is like, no. BMI is white supremacy. Are you serious? You think what? Let's see. Good Housekeeping. Here we go. Here's the article. Racist and problematic history of the body mass index. You need to stop what you're doing. This body mass index, weight is no way tied to health. Do you see how insidious every single aspect of this woke parasitic entity is? It has to permeate every single aspect of society. Every single thing. Now it's body mass index. Given how diverse human beings are. Oh, it's an anti-diet special report because, we need to promote that you shouldn't diet. This is in Good Housekeeping. We need to promote that you should not diet because you're not going to be a good little, UBI adopter, slave, whatever, if you are healthy. And it's just so obvious what they're doing. It's like, obviously, this is what they're doing. They just want people to be unhealthy, like, obviously. But you can see it. It's so insidious. It, permeates every single thing. Let's glorify gluttony. Why not? Exactly. Why do the wrong people suffer from tapeworms? Given how diverse human beings are, it's logical that pushing all individuals to maintain the same body standards would lead to trouble. Yet the medical community has done just that. When it comes to the use of one simple calculation, the body mass index. This number, intended to be an estimate of body fat, is calculated by dividing a person's weight in kilograms by their height in meters squared. The calculation has been at the center of America's fight against the quote-unquote obesity epidemic. It's not even real. What are you talking about? A phenomenon, the dangers of which many research have questioned. Yeah, why? Hey, what's up? No Spoon Podcast. Hey. Why? Why are you, why? There's nothing. Oh, look, here's a paper. Oh my God, here's a paper, you guys. Someone at a woke universe, someone who's indoctrinated, someone who's part of the whole woke agenda wrote a paper. So obviously it's real. Is public health crisis or moral panic? I don't know. This is this paper. Perceived. Oh, perceived. It's just perceived. It's perceived. The International Health Organization have focused increasingly on perceived obesity epidemic said to pose drastic threats to public health. Indeed, some medical experts has gone so far as to predict that growing body mass will halt and perhaps even reverse the millennia long trend of raising human life expectancy. Now, if I have not heard anything so bigoted and so supremacist as this, I just can't even read this. I'm only reading this because I want you guys to understand how bigoted and racist it is. And I'm not doing it to point out their propaganda and how they can just put some bullshit in a stupid paper that they wrote because they can write and publish a paper. It's a paper. You know, they can just put whatever they want in there because they're all Marxists in the woke agenda. No, it's because I'm talking about this, not to point out that this is crap and anybody can just publish crap. I'm doing this because I want to end this. This false notion of being fat is wrong. That human beings, somehow it's bad. Hey, what's up? Somehow it's bad to not be crippling under hundreds of pounds of weight, straining your body organs, having like all that visceral fat wrapping around your organs, releasing toxins, into your body, producing hormones. Yeah, because, even though we know that muscle and exercise lifts depression, reduces anxiety and improves your memory and focus and improves your overall health, helps with your body overall, like that sort of exercise and things, that's like, no. A growing number of research drawn from a broad array of academic disciplines are calling these claims into question. The author of this article come from this letter group. Our view, the available scientific data neither supports alarmist claims about obesity nor justify diverting scarce resources away from far more pressing public health issues. The article evaluates 4 central claims made by those who are calling for intensifying war on fat, that obesity is an epidemic, that overweight and obesity are major contributors to mortality, that higher than average adipose tissue is pathological and primary direct cause of disease. No, it's not. Stop. It's not. It's fine. Just be as fat as you want to be. Data is not supported. So there's lots of data, the science and the data. It's not a problem. Eat your seed oils. What's wrong with you? While there are significant weight gain among the heaviest individuals, the vast majority of people in the overweight obese category are now at weight levels that are only slightly higher than those from the predecessors. Yeah. Inflammation's not bad. It's not bad. What's wrong with you? Thanks, No Spoon. I know. I love what you're doing too. Yeah. So, yeah. It's not a big deal. What's the problem? Doesn't this hurt your head? Doesn't this? Because in a few years, because they're using all of this to justify everything. And in a few years, it would be normal. Being fat is great. Correlation with disease does not always equal causation of disease. Weight loss is not an effective cure-all. It's been made out to be. In fact, chronic dieting can lead to heart attacks and strokes, you guys. So there you go. More propaganda. Just nonstop. Ooh, 47% of people categorized as overweight are metabolically healthy. Eat your seed oils, please. Oh, and it's came from these racist people. Oh, and also there's a book called Fearing the Black Body, The Racial Origins of Fat Phobia, because, they're already this is against blackness. You have to understand. Having healthy weight is not something that you should expect Black people to do. Okay, please stop. That's racist. These expectations are racist, and you need to stop. And this is just this hatred of Black bodies. It's a hatred of Black. So it's great. It all ties. Do you see how they, with all of their propaganda, they're just shamelessly. It always ties back to the same crap. It always ties back. Always. They always find a way. They always circle back. Always. So yeah, please stop. Please. So you've got that original influencer that we just played. Where did that video go? We've got the woman. She's the final, layer. Because they start up here with these stupid stories, the papers that they publish. Oh, the papers. Oh, there's a paper on it. Oh, somebody wrote a paper on it, so it's true. They start with the papers. They start at the top, and then it trickles down and gets normalized and accepted as society. And then you see someone with some stupid, ridiculous TikTok video explaining all the ways that Europe is fat phobic. And that, it's not fair that she can't fit on the rides. The heck? It's just no. It's just a no for me. It's just a no. I can't. I'm just so disturbed. But you have to see the chain of events, and we have to see it and call it out and keep calling it out and keep saying it and keep pointing it out, because people do not get it. They don't see the long road to all these ideologies, how they socially engineer us. It starts with someone who wrote a stupid paper. Okay. You got the paper published. Yeah, because you're part of some woke university. Oh my God. Wow. The universities are all full of indoctrinated psychopaths. Duh. No, duh. So of course they're going to publish this stuff. And then once it's published, then it's real. Then that's it. Just ignore everything. The experts said it. Trickle down ideology. Trickle down idiocy. I know. It's so bad. But this is how this is how they do it. This is how they do it. This is how they do it. They do it over, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. They start, publish an article, publish a story, publish an article, put a TikTok influencer there, and now it's normal. Great, awesome, ridiculous. And this is how it works. This is how their propaganda machine works. This is what they do. This is the world we live in. This is the beautiful future that we live in. And before we get to the Joe Rogan whole situation, how you can't debate the science, you can't debate it. Before we get into that, I want to show this other clip of actual counter propaganda that the Turning Point people put together that I think is a really, really good example of counter propaganda and just showing things in context, the before and after. Like, you have to with these people because they're so indoctrinated. It doesn't matter how much evidence you put in front of them. It doesn't matter what you do or how you try to reason with them and articulate things to them. They're indoctrinated. It doesn't matter. They're in a cult. They're not going to, as Yuri Bezmenov said, once they're demoralized, there's no amount of information or proof you can give to them that they're going to actually believe it. So I thought this was weird. Stick, let it. I think this is copyrighted, so I'm going to turn this down. Yes, beautiful. Look at this. Before and after. The before and after. So they're showing before the riots for BLM and the after. Here we go. Just disgusting to see. Make Minneapolis vegan again. Community standing up against alcohol sales. Community owned gas station. Just get rid of all of it. Get rid of all of it. Community bonfires. Just great stuff. Just great stuff that they did. Community, they named them all community donation centers. Like BLM really went through communities and just produced all of this value for them. The booming city of Minneapolis, Minnesota. Best police station. Oh my God. They just went through and destroyed. Can't have propaganda without the cultural appropriation of trap music. Exactly. Just no. Just no. Just no. And this is really good. I mean, obviously, because Turning Point made this, most people won't. But it's just a good piece. This is a really good piece of counter propaganda. They went through and destroyed stuff. Like billions of dollars. Like, I don't know, what was it? It's a couple $1 billion of property damage that they imposed with their little riots. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. It's nonstop. And they just don't care. This was their point. I mean, honestly, if you look at, for me, this is my personal opinion, if you look at the Black community, I feel like that is the model, the pattern, the ultimate representation of socialist takeover, of the communist woke takeover. That's the Black community, if you look at that. Not the rich Black communities. I'm talking about the poor ones. I'm talking about the bad ones. That's the model. And I think that's where they want America to be, ultimately. They want the whole community looking like that. So there we go. There we go. And it's good to see. It's good to see. It's good to see. Yeah, LA was definitely destroyed pretty bad. Pretty bad. It was bad. It was really bad. Lizzo is the standard. Lizzo is the standard of beauty. Like, what is wrong with you? Stop with your stop. This. Why are you trying hard to be acting white? I know. I understand that. I understand that I be acting up. I be acting real bad. I get it. It's not okay. And I'm trying to stop, honestly. I'm trying to stop be acting so white. I don't think you realize how bad it is. Okay. So let's talk about this. I think the ultimate in insane propaganda. The standard to join. Lizzo is the standard to join Weight Watchers. I think the ultimate piece of little propaganda stuff that they put out this week was the whole Joe Rogan thing. I think they did a really good job with that, because that was pretty. It's like, okay, people can't debate other people. Like, what? Like, what is this? How is this? How can you not debate things? Like, how is that wrong? So if you look at the articles, so you have to see all the narratives that they have for their little propaganda narratives. You've got to see all of this, all the headlines. Joe Rogan wants a scientist to debate a vaccine denier, turned him down, was the right thing. All these, they have so many articles. Washington Post, Joe Rogan wants a debate. That's just wrong. No, don't do that. That's just the problem. You want to debate? That's exactly the problem. You don't get it, you guys. I know a lot of you are just anti-science. And so I need you to understand that is your problem. That is your first and number one problem. Why are you debating the science? Science is settled. Debate is fatphobic. Yes, thank you. You're getting it. You're getting it. Finally, you guys, I'm trying to stop and help you reverse. I'm trying. I'm really trying. But you guys don't want to. You don't want to. You don't want to stop with your ridiculousness. You think you can debate the science? No. Just look at this. All of these news articles. Look at this. He's bullying. This is just not okay. He was stalked. Oh my God. He was harassed. The scientist was harassed into trying to debate. Do not question the party. No, please stop. Stop questioning. What would Klaus Schwab do? I know. That's what you should always ask yourself. What would Klaus Schwab do? Imagine engaging in free speech and civil discourse. Wait, is this what? Yes, of course. Check your privilege. You think free speech and civil discourse, that's literally your privilege speaking. So please check that. Not okay. So these articles just basically it's like why it's not worth having because they need to cope. They need to definitely cope. They need to manage it. They need to have a reason why, you don't want to debate people. No. You can't debate these things. And the debates worth having, these are not the debates worth having. These are not it. It's not that they would lose potentially at the debate. It's just these are not worth it. Because then you might have arguments. They might have arguments. They might have anything. So they're going to have this debate. Oh, it's not going to let me read it. Oh, The Atlantic. Yeah. No. They're just helping us understand. They're just helping us understand that this is not worth it. So that's their first. So if you look at the propaganda narrative, the fact they can't immediately, we already know we have to discredit him and hate him, but then they have to come in with the cope with the justification. The justification. Why you shouldn't even debate. You shouldn't even debate it. You shouldn't even argue it. You shouldn't even talk about it. It's settled. It's science. It's settled science. Science is settled. Don't argue it. So they make a ton of articles saying why not to do it. Just don't give it to him. No. How to have better conversations about contentious scientific subjects. It's like debate. No. Last week, Joe Rogan aired a conversation on his podcast with longtime vaccine misinformation spreader and current Look at this propaganda. Oh my God. Non-inconsequential Joe Biden primary challenger, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Just this sentence alone. This thing is just laced. It is laced. It is heavy-handed propaganda. Everything they do, every way they form each and every sentence is to frame things, is to control the narrative, is to give you the conclusion before they even put anything out. They're not even putting anything out and they're ready to give you the conclusion. According to an article in Vice, the 3-hour episode was an orgy of unchecked vaccine information. I'm screaming. I'm so upset. How do you get this stupid banner? Okay, so they're quoted. Okay, so they're literally, so instead of talking about anything, they're just going to link. You're getting an ulcer by the end of the first sentence. I know, this propaganda is so heavy. It's so heavy. Do you notice how they do that? This is another very common, very, 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 very overused tactic that you need to call out as well, that you guys need to start calling out. All these stupid ads, God. You need to start calling out is that they don't actually pinpoint anything. They don't actually say specifically anything. They're just doing the best they can to circle around without, denying or agreeing with anything. Look at this picture. Great screen trip. Oh, yeah, a broad swath. Oh, yeah. Celebrated Thursday when Joe Rogan, the biggest podcaster in the country, hosted a 3-hour conversation with Robert F. Kennedy. It's an orgy of unchecked information, conspiracy mongering. No, we talked about ivermectin. Oh, my God. So evil. So evil. Just ridiculous. And I'm glad that Vice is calling this out. I want them to call this out. I don't want this misinformation spreading. And I'm just so glad that they were doing that, you guys. I'm so glad. Don't do an interview with the man who won his case for a injury. He knows nothing. No, he doesn't know anything. He's just an attorney. He doesn't know anything. He just won a case about it. It's nothing. Nothing. On Twitter, Peter Holtz, a vaccine scientist at Baylor College of Medicine, criticized the conversation. In response, Rogan invited Holtz to a debate vaccines with Kennedy on his show. Of course, Holtz declined. Of course, the right thing to do, which is the right thing to do. Instead of offering Rogan a one-on-one conversation, Rogan insisted on a debate, and Elon Musk popped up. Oh my God, that other guy. Popped up and destroyed with jab at Holtz, implying Holtz was afraid of debate, afraid of being proven wrong. On Sunday, two people, evidently spurred into action by the kerfuffle online, harassed Holtz at his Houston home because they're so violent. They're so unchecked. The orgy of unchecked information is the anti-diet art. I know. But no. Stop. 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 This is all the science. It's all settled. Holtz made the right choice, wrote epidemiologist Caitlin Jetelina, a physician Kirsten Pathogani. Oh, God. Yeah. He did the right thing. I'm so glad they all came together and said he did the right thing. 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 Trust the science. He did the right thing. Here's why debates are actually bad form for discussing contingent scientific articles and what works better. Why debates are bad for communicating science. Debates are less than ideal form for having conversation about contentious issues, especially when they're issues whose understanding is clouded with misinformation. Because you guys, debates are just ridiculous. Who debates? It's so stupid. They're not effective at all. There are several reasons for that. For starters, a debate about a scientific issue implies there's a scientific disagreement about the issue. There is no disagreement. You have to stop. Even debating it at all implies there's a disagreement. There's no one who disagrees. Never, ever, 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 ever. And the only people who do are conspiracy theorists, lunatic, right-wing, white supremacists. I don't know. The list goes on. QAnon, all of it. Those are the only people. No one else in the world in the history of humanity has ever disagreed on anything, especially when it comes to science. So yeah, don't imply that there's anything to even argue. So Rupiah Lamia said, a social scientist at Johns Hopkins University, a public health school, studies vax communication. You're giving individuals a platform to really promote something that goes against scientific consensus, and you cannot do that. You literally cannot do that. That creates a sense of false equivalency. In this case, it suggests there's as much good science to support avoiding vaxes as there is to support getting vaxes, which in fact the science has settled overwhelmingly supports. So stop. But another important reason that debates fail at science communication is that they're usually conducted with an audience. Whether they're live in a studio, listening on headphones, or following on Twitter. That is the problem. People are going to be listening and people are going to be watching. So many reasons. So many freaking reasons. This is so many reasons. That has several people listening to information being presented is wrong, okay? Duh. It's almost as bad as free speech. So having this debate in front of people has several consequences, one of which is de-incentivize participants from changing their minds. I can't agree more. A debate's performative aspects means its participants are rewarded for doing what best preserves their public image. For people whose public identity is strongly tied to holding specific beliefs, that means standing their ground, not learning something new, which they may see as signaling to their audience that their identity is on shaky ground. So basically, science should not be debated because the people debating the science will debate the science from their perspective and debate their information in order to win the debate. Okay. Simultaneously, the promise of an audience incentivized debate participants to do whatever it takes to draw in and retain an even bigger audience. You want drama. You want something that people are going to click on and be like, oh my God. They might have facts. They might have information. They might have a winning argument. They might have a perspective. And this is what, honestly, you guys need to understand. Anytime you introduce a new perspective, that might make people question. And in an authoritarian government, an authoritarian woke cult world, you don't want to question anything. Please stop. It's so bad. It's so bad. Debate highlights are far more likely to include snappy retorts than thoughtful murmurs. A participant who scores points off the other guy is more likely to gain followers and fame. So basically, if he does well, hey, what's up? If he does well, just know. It's not just vaccine science. Many areas of science really don't benefit from debate. Like, you guys, I cannot explain to you more clearly. I'm being sarcastic, but I cannot explain to you more in depth that the science is settled. The science is settled, okay? I cannot explain to you more. You might think this is propaganda. You might think this is like, oh, they're just trying to push their narrative and they don't want to have open and free speech and people thinking. No, that's not it. These things, science does not benefit from debate. You're not supposed to question or, think about what the experts might be saying. No, please stop it. Please stop. Please stop. Just no. Just no. Just no. Just no. Just no. No. There have been plenty of debates broadcast on climate science, for example, but according to climate scientist Gavin Schmidt, they have hardly moved the needle on climate denialism. Okay? Seriously. So you're saying that people are listening to debates, and if they feel like the arguments were good and right, they're not going to change their mind? I have thoughts about scientists debating contrarians. Oh God, this long ass. No, it's not just vaccine science. Many people have done this and it's really wrong. There's never any left. I mean, they might bring actual facts and things that could disprove the argument. Yeah, I ended the IG live. Can't be on it forever. Holtz appeared to offer a conversation with Rogan as an alternative to a debate with the RFK. That's a good alternative. More of an educational kind of approach, question and answer. Yeah, debating things, you don't learn anything. You don't learn any of the, the media narrative, the approved narrative. You don't learn the approved talking points through a debate, potentially. You don't. You need to, whenever you're hearing things, you need to make sure you're getting the 100% woke approved narrative. Oh. I'll focus more on learning and less on winning. Because, obviously, what makes for positive engagement, productive engagement? It makes sense for scientists like Holtz not to engage in a public debate on Joe Rogan podcast. They really, really need to justify this. They need to make sure people understand it's not because he might lose. It's just because it's really, really bad. And it's just not positive and it's not good. But what's a good model for conversation? I think it's just following the approved narratives. Jojo Collins says, I love debate. The best way to actually learn. No. Because you're being introduced to an alternative narrative and you're being introduced to possibly contradictory information. So it is wrong, 100% wrong. So please. Yeah. What the hell? Assessing who you're communicating with, when and where you're communicating, and what and how you're communicating can provide guardrails that make interactions about these subjects more likely to be productive. We need those guardrails. We can't just have people running amok, questioning things, thinking about things, having alternative perspectives. Please stop. If you don't understand why debates are bad and you shouldn't question the science, I hope this is helpful. Yeah, so exactly. And we already know what productive stands for in terms of like woke doublespeak. Productive means it will make sure people follow and agree and support and speak the approved narrative, the approved woke narrative. You have to know who you're talking to, good faith, blah. So disgusting. When and where, finding the right venue. You need to be able to find it right. Public conversations involve an audience, and I think the unwashed masses should not be privy to this information. Playing to win. It's a debate. You're supposed to win your debate. Duh. Productive means good comrade. Exactly. Everything is doublespeak. Private conversations are less likely to turn into a circus. Like, just decide everything. The peasants should not. No. Just don't do it online. There's doubt about someone's goals. The ideal approach to scientific communication gets ahead of public concerns. She has written that this kind of proactive method requires anticipating and preventing information voids by providing timely and digestible answers. Truth, trust, and hope. Where to start? Oh my God, I'm so glad. Oh, look, misinformation, disinformation is a major problem. Yeah. Truth is now debatable, guys. Oh my God. Look at her. It's now debatable. It's truth. What is wrong with you? What's wrong with you? The major challenge in scientific communication is that the truth is now networked by peers. Because of this, disinformation and misinformation are eroding public trust in science, becoming a threat to the planet and costing lives. Questioning things costs lives. So stop. All of you, stop. Please stop. And this goes way beyond the pandemic, climate change, vaccine, gun violence, reproductive health, all of these key things. Everyone, the private sector, government, all of it. Stop. These are all the great ones, all the great topics, all the topics that they hate. They hate the private sector. They hate government. They hate the climate change deniers need to go. Routine vaxes, no debating that. Gun violence. Come on, you guys. We know that gun violence. We need to get rid of guns, obviously. And reproductive health. I love this. This is my favorite propaganda, doublespeak, woke term, reproductive health. This was one of the best ones that come up with the reproductive health one. I love it. It's like, it's health. It's health. If someone is unalived in the process of that reproductive health, is it really health? But that's okay. No worries. Shh. Let's not talk about this. Is YouTube, so let's not get into that. That was one of the best ones. And these phrases and these taglines and the stuff that they keep repeating, just facts become fiction. Fiction becomes fact. Exactly. Over and over and over. The inability for scientists to defend their arguments in debates is what is eroding trust in science. I know. So true. Oh my God. So true. But yeah, just stop. So this piece is Vox makes some great propaganda articles. I love it. So they're giving them all of their justification, all their stuff. Ooh. Ooh, why AI and Gen Z are in charge of the future. Yes. Yes. Oh. Oh. And Gen Z is also defined by their horrible wardrobe and their boxy pants and their like ridiculous. Oh, yeah, we need to watch that. We need to watch more of that. What is she doing? I hope she's helping. Yeah, I love her. I think she's great. She's Gen Z. But anyway, back to the article. Okay, here we go. So when you're talking to someone, and what and how are you communicating? Because again, debating stuff is wrong because then you can hear two different arguments and then you have to use critical thinking, which is so, again, supremacy. Again, critical thinking, supremacy, tied together. That is dangerous. That is dangerous. You don't want people listening to that. You don't want people having that. So this is how we're communicating. The most critical thing here is listening to concerns of the person you're talking to. Listen to their pain points and how can you effectively message to them. Yes, I love that. That is so true. Gen Z Fashions gives Roblox silhouettes. It's literally, well, I mean, when they have these swollen, like, when they wear like these, like, when they have these distended, disgusting bodies, like, yeah. Anyway, that's another. When she shares facts with people, okay, here we go. Allows patiently hearing them out allows you to zero in on what information they might have wrong. So you need to be able to zero in on that and tell them they're wrong and what they might have right. When you're able to pinpoint it, you're able to find the kernel of truth. That's when you're able to start breaking it down and bringing them along for that scientific discovery. Or the scientific discovery, you guys, here's another woke doublespeak. Yeah, another opportunity for re-education and indoctrination. Yes, because there's only one right answer, and that's the communist answer. And this applies to all subjects. She's amazing. She applies a truth sandwich. Whoa. Presenting evidence-based truth first, then the misinformation it corrects, and ending by repeating the truth. Oh, let's see her format. What's her little, like, format? What's her format? How do you... Oh, a truth sandwich. Start with the truth. First frame gets the advantage. See, these... Okay. This is why the left wins the culture war. This is why the left keeps gaining ground. This is why the left is winning. Because they have strategy. They have actual strategy. They have actual tactics. The right is too busy apologizing for putting a quote in a newsletter while they're formulating how they're going to structure their language so as to further and more efficiently indoctrinate people. Do you see this? Where is this published with the right? Where does the right, other than me, honestly, talking about this? How to actually formulate your conversation? Where? Never. Start with the truth. The first frame gets the advantage. Indicate the lie. Avoid amplifying the specific language if possible. This is very well thought out. Because it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Because again, most people are not thinking. They don't use critical thinking. They're not doing that. They're responding. They're being, incentivized. They're being like prodded and poked, similar to cattle. They're just moving around. And so they hear these words. They're probably not really listening. You have to just sort of frame it and control it and structure the conversation in a certain way so you can really get to the conclusion. And then, number 3, you return to the truth. always repeat truths more than lies, which we know this is doublespeak for always repeat the agenda talking points more than anything that would contradict it. That's all it is. Where? Why is it? Why? Why is it? Why? Why is it we don't do this? This person has read her rules for radicals. Exactly. That's why they win. Not because they're right. Not because they're morally superior. Not because they're actually doing anything good for society or they're benefiting society in any way. It's because they know how to tell the masses. They know how to talk to sheep. They know how to sell. They know how to put it together. They know how to put it in a little truth sandwich. A little truth sandwich. No one else is ever correct. Exactly. What is wrong with you? No one else is ever correct. There's only one right answer. And it's always the woke Marxist answer. It's so sad. I'm going to make this into a post I'm going to post this as well to explain it. Because there's no right leaning or right anything, conservative, anything doing this, talking about these things ever. Everywhere you go, they have scripts, they have education, they teach you what to say, how to say it. I'm triggered too. I'm really triggered, honestly. I'm super triggered because it's disgusting. I'm so tired. I'm so tired of us. I'm so tired of people on the right. I'm so tired that we're not doing what needs to be done. We need to do what needs to be done. We need to learn and understand these strategies. We need to understand that you can't just come up to people and say, oh, you're wrong. I'm right. Okay, and I'm going to put this up here. Yeah. Work of Lakoff. Yeah, he has a really good book. I'm actually going to cover that book too. That he, how to, don't think of an elephant. That's the book. An expert on strategic language and the framing of civic arguments. His proposed formula, summarized on Twitter, goes like this. The problem is they're always talking about their truth, not the truth. They don't care about the truth. They care about moving. Yeah, Javier, exactly. The conservatives are too busy reacting, not analyzing, no creating. Exactly. Oh my God, look what they did. Oh, somebody's wearing a dress. Oh my God. Don't, oh my God. That's what's happening. Did you see that? That was how could they do that? Wow, no. That's the right. That's all they do. That's literally all they do. It's just so friggin' so disgusting. So tired of it. I'm so tired of it. I'm so tired of it. It's just like, stop. We have to stop this. We can't keep doing this anymore. Here's the book. I want you guys to see it. Don't think of an elephant. I want you guys to see that it's a really good book, and it breaks down the strategies and how you put things together when it comes to politics and things like that. It's a really good book. It just has to stop. What are all the storylines being used to activate their troops this election cycle? Drag queens, AIs. Oh, what are all the... Yeah, exactly. They just push the same things. And if you call out the right and you say, hey, you guys, maybe you shouldn't do this. Maybe there's a better way. They get all upset about it. They're like, no, we're right. Okay, you're right, but you're losing everything. So I guess you're not, what are you doing? There's a way, and this is the misconception that I see a lot of people when they respond to when I bring this up, and is that there's this misconception that somehow there's only one way of communicating. There's only one way of staying true to your morals and values. You can have morals and values while like winning an argument. Hello, you can win an argument with morals and values. You don't have to do it a certain way. Okay. You don't have to do it a certain way. It's you can win the debate. You can put it together. You can make a compelling argument. You can do things like, I don't know, address someone's pain points. Like the woman was talking about in the Vox article. You can find out what their pain point is. What is it that they're concerned about? Because oftentimes it's something that they, have some issue with, or they somehow relate it back to themselves. So you can ask them what it is, and then you can start forming the message and your argument to that specific pain point so they can actually hear you and listen to you, and your argument and your facts and your logic and all those morals and values can resonate with them. Because otherwise it's just going in one ear and out the other. Most people aren't thinking. Like, is that so hard to believe? Most people don't think. There's so many ways we can approach this without being like, oh, well, we told them the truth. Okay, you told them the truth and they didn't hear you, and they're psychos. They're literally, these people are, as they say, mentally ill. Like, what are you talking about? You have to address them and form your arguments and do all of these things in an appropriate way that will win them over, give them context, give them reasons that makes it compelling, sell it to them. You don't talk to a little child the same way you talk to a 50-year-old, do you? So why is it you think that you need to just be, oh, well, this is wrong and this is wrong and that's wrong and you're wrong, and that's your argument, and that's your way of winning the culture war? Stop. Yeah, it's very real. It's very real. Shane pointed out, you can be right and still lose the debate. 100%. 100%. You can be right and still lose a debate because you didn't create a compelling argument. You didn't win anything over. If you call conservatives out on their mistakes and failings, they'll accuse you of causing infighting. Yeah, because they don't want to do the work. The leftists are ready to do the work. And I hope all of you are ready to do the work, because we have to communicate to people. This is not working. This is not the strategy. This ain't it. It's not it. It's just not it. And it's just not working. So do something better. Change your arguments. Reframe it. Have strategy. Oh my God. Telling someone they're wrong and that they're bad and immoral, it's not going to win them over. Who wants to hear that? Oh, but it's right. It's the truth. Okay. So are you selling the concept to them or no? No, they're not. Okay. Oh, here we go. I know, Jojo. Take care for sure. Yeah, like Bezmenov said, which I need to do a breakdown of that for real. I'm so bad. I'm so behind on so much. The truth or evidence isn't effective with these people. It's not. They're not. Again, they're not using critical thinking. So it's like, why don't we have volumes and volumes and volumes of books that are published on how to sell the values of liberty, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, the values of the Constitution, why the Constitution is good, selling these things to the younger generation, to people, instilling these values? Why don't we have that? It's just none of it's there. It's not, the math isn't mathing for these people. Like, we need to come to the understanding and the realization that a lot of these people don't actually value freedom. Yes, I know. Oh my God. Yeah. Oh, they should. Yeah, they should, but they don't. Now what? Now the Marxists, the woke, can come over here and be like, oh, I feel like, you're a loser. So here, Let me give you an ideology that will make your loserdom okay. And then they're like, oh my God, yay! I can be fat now and I don't have to feel bad or think I'm going to die early. Eee. Like this whole, oh, they should do that or they should want that or they should this. It doesn't matter. Okay, if you want them to do that, then help retrain them, help educate them, help move them over to that point. But conservatives don't want to do that. They just don't. They just don't. Just tell them they're wrong. No. It's very obvious that the right is full of people, or, the talking heads and all this stuff. It's full of people who do not study the social sciences, that do not engage in the arts, that do not engage in these areas. That's why the left dominates all these things. That's why they are able to take over all these institutions. They dominate it. It's full of leftists. You need to understand things about communication. You need to understand things about selling and psychology. You need to understand those things in order to put and reinforce and propagandize and promote your culture and your narrative. Yeah, that's a great quote. Socialism is the creed of the ignorant. Exactly. We can't keep going down this road. We can't keep going down this road. It's not going to work. It's not working. We need to have people understand who these people are, this enemy, stop apologizing, stop backtracking, stop being like, oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry. We need to have a clear understanding, a clear strategy, a clear method, and a clear approach. We need to have people trained in order to have these conversations. Why do you want to be free? Why do you want to oppose Marxism? Why would you want to have two genders? Why is the idea of all of this, why is this important? Oh, I don't know, because if you don't, you're just distracting people from living normal, healthy lives. Like, okay, that's pretty obvious, but no. It's so frustrating. Reality is not contingent upon our understanding nor acceptance of it. Ignorance is no excuse to reality. Yeah. War is peace, freedom is slavery, ignorance is strength. Exactly. That's what we have here. We need to study the trivium, grammar, logic, and rhetoric. We do. We really do. For a group of people who consider themselves to be so enlightened and so right and logical, it's illogical to not study these things and actually learn how to approach and debate these people. We let it get so far down the line of ridiculousness that we're in this like woke muck psycho universe that we have to argue things like, is there a difference between men and women? Oh, I don't know. I just can't tell. I just don't know. I just can't tell. I don't know. It's ridiculous. It's so stupid. And it's pathetic. It's honestly pathetic. The right is just, there needs to be a counter to this left woke Marxist indoctrination. There just has to be. And there has to be a better way. And that's why, that's honestly why I started this channel and like do this, is because I really want to have more conversations about strategy and like figuring out how can we sell these things? How can we push these better narratives? How can we teach people to counter these woke arguments? And they just keep going. They just keep going. They just keep going. They just keep pushing it. They keep pushing it. Like, where are we breaking down and analyzing and understanding this? We're not doing it. Okay, before I jump off of here, I want to showcase a perfect example that I saw this week of, the propagandists selling their little storyline and their little interview. In this little interview, Wow. People no longer understand the distinctions between political and partisan or public and private, which are vital to liberal democracy. Conflation of those topics makes a mess. Article. Ooh, that's a really good article. Yeah. If you could send it to me, that would be really great. I appreciate it. That sounds like a really good article. Definitely follow JoJo on Twitter. How did it get so out of hand? Algorithms only show people more of who they are. Exactly. It's so sad. So sad. The woke left is taking power through influencing arts and culture. Yeah, they're seizing the means of cultural production. Yeah, it works for them. Thank you for your show. I learn a lot. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Eric. Thanks for joining. Yeah, that's the point. We need to have these conversations. We need to break these things down. You know, we can laugh and have fun and, you know, just look at the woke, look how crazy they are. But we have to also understand their methods and their strategy is effective because they understand human psychology. They understand addressing people's pain points. They understand what's the best way to get someone who's not going to think and not, which is the majority of people, not calling them stupid, but a lot of people are like under stress, you know? How do we get them to do that? How do we get them to do that? They know how to, ooh, I keep hitting this thing. They know how to do it. And the right is too busy being right. We're so right. We're so right. We said it. It's right. And then the worst, oh, just become religious and everything will be fine. These people are like demons. Like they're not gonna, that's not a selling point for them. Aren't almost 80% of Gen Z already to vote, the majority of which are woke? Exactly. The Gen Z is their crop. The Gen Z is their final crop for their socialist utopia. Their socialist utopia. Let's look at this. A wonderful interview by the wonderful.
Why do you think this has become a passion project of some conservatives?
I continue hearing people making the argument that we're doing it because we want to prevent our students from having discomfort or guilt, because we don't want our students to be able to really wrestle with these really difficult things in times when they're maturing as individuals and difficult historical points. But the thing I realized, and I wanted to speak out about it, is that's actually not true. It's a guise.
It's not true.
It's not about making kids uncomfortable.
It's not about making kids feel uncomfortable. It's about telling other kids that they shouldn't understand their own power. It's castrating them.
Oh my God, you guys. Did you know that? So the book banning is not about the book banning that is, oh my God, so rampant and horrible. That's not about. That's not about the material, the explicit, disturbing material that's in those books. It's about the fact that they just want to be mean. And they want to tell kids not to have their power. I mean, look how good this is. Look how good this is.
Why do you think this has become a passion project of some conservatives?
I continue.
Do you see how it's like a question, like an argument, like they're having a conversation. So anytime you see these things, like they do this on The View, they do this on lots of the, the news interviews and things like that. They do it a lot because it's mimicking what would go on in your own head, like taking different perspectives and trying to analyze them, like critical thinking. It's mimicking that critical thinking. All these people have outsourced their critical thinking to the TV. The TV told them to do something, so this is the right thing to do. Right? Right? What? And so that's why this format is here. So every single thing you see, none of it is a mistake. None of it is just, oh, they just did something. Like, no. They're mimicking critical thinking. They're mimicking the dialogue that you would otherwise have in their head.
Why do you think this has become a passion project of some conservatives?
I continue hearing people making the argument that we're doing it because we want to prevent our students from having discomfort or guilt, because we don't want our students to be able to really wrestle with these really difficult things in times when they're maturing as individuals and difficult historical points. But the thing I realized, and I wanted to speak out about it, is that's actually not true.
It's not true.
It's a guise.
It's not about making kids uncomfortable.
It's not about making kids feel uncomfortable. It's about telling other kids that they shouldn't understand their own power. It's castrating them.
Why?
Yeah, that's all it is. That's all it is. I mean, it's telling them to not have their own power because they're bigots, the white supremacists, the conservatives. They're just hateful. They just hate, and they don't want kids to have their own power. It doesn't matter if the material's explicit and just so terrible. It's just, no, that's not it. That's not it. That's not it. They just don't want people to be powerful. They just don't want them to be powerful. Yeah. And because conservatives never, ever, 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 ever bring up the point they're not banning books, they're actually banning essentially pornography for children. They never say that. They never say that. There's no mantra that it's no, it's just pornography. It's just pornography. We're against pornography. We're against pornography for children. They don't do that. So the left gets to take their narrative and keep running with it and just define what it is. It's just banning books. And of course, no one's going to ever research or look into it. Please, I live in California. I know what leftists think about these things. They're never going to actually question or read the book or analyze what the article says. They're just going to see banning books, banning books, banning books, banning. They've been saying it for years. Conservatives are just banning books. Oh. Yeah, I shouldn't say that word. Sorry. Oops. I shouldn't say it. I'll have to take this video down and mute that. But yeah, corn. Yeah. You might get tagged. I know. I definitely will. They need to stop with the nice speak and just tell the unthinks. That's Soren. They need to stop with the nice speak and just tell the universal, unvarnished truth. They need to just be hammering in the mantras just like the left does, but they don't do that. They're just always on the back foot. They're always, oh, I'm sorry. Oh my God. Yeah, sorry about that. I shouldn't have said the word. I'll just take it down and read it. But it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, and it's a losing strategy, and the left gets to control the narrative, non-stop control of the narrative. That's all they get to do. And then the right is just oh my God. Yeah, I'm gonna bleep it out. I'm gonna take it down and re-upload. It's just disgusting. It's not about, it's about taking away kids' power. It's about taking away their power, banning books. Oh, they're taking away the kids' power because they're just all these marginalized people want their power, and these conservatives are so evil. Ooh. So yeah, here we go. I hope today was interesting, and I hope you enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed this live. I hope you enjoyed just discussing and reviewing these things, because I think more of us need to do that. We need to analyze and look at it and dissect and figure out, how can we improve the way we speak? How can we improve our messaging and our dialogue? Because it's up to us, honestly. That's a favorite of the right is saying, oh, no one's going to come save us. Yeah, no one's going to come save you. So you need to be able to start convincing some people. You do. You really do. You need to be able to do that. And I think that as a whole, if we can start analyzing, understanding, breaking these things down, we can really, really find a way to effectively communicate with literally anyone, because you can just sell anything. You can sell anything. And also, they're just pain. They're people in pain. They just like the idea and they think that they're doing what's right. Hey, loved it first time here. Thanks for joining. Yes. No, definitely. Definitely. Glad to have you here. Yeah, Javier, it is frustrating. It's very frustrating. No, you guys are all amazing. I really appreciate you guys in the chat, all of the members, all the supporters, everybody, follow everybody. I really, really appreciate it. You guys are all very, very appreciated. I can't even describe it. I mean, I don't have a really big platform, but I really appreciate you guys showing up and supporting me. So please check out my Twitter, follow me on Instagram, definitely the locals if you want some uncensored stuff, because these conversations need to be happening. Yes, and I appreciate all the shares, all the support, my MVPs. We need to continue this. We need to continue this. We need to teach people. We need to help the right understand. And please, just regular people who want to have normal, happy lives and not live in a woke communist utopia, how to help them fight back against this narrative. Because these narratives are so well done. They're so well formulated. They're not being analyzed by the talking heads. All the talking heads on the right are just like, we're right. This is look how bad the left is. Look how bad the left is. It's like, okay, they're bad and they're still winning. Your point? No point. No point. So we have to do this. This is the work we have to do. Each individual, like whether it's just talking to people in our neighborhood, our family, it's all relevant. It's all worth it. It's all important. Because the more this information gets out, the more it can counter. Yeah, this is a counter-revolution party. We need to counter their narratives. We need to counter this woke stream of dribble and garbage that is just spilling out of everywhere. Because it's not okay. It's just not. We can't keep going on like this. I mean, we're at the point where we're arguing whether men are stronger than women. Like, no. They are fish in water, can't see the water. Exactly. So yeah. Yeah, totally. So yeah, all of you guys, you can follow me. Yeah, you can find me at the Propaganda Fluent. That's my main handle. Oh, we need yes. Oh my god, good one. We need a counter chub rub. Yes. Okay, so everybody too, all of members, please. I also want to invite you to join as a member. We're going to be doing a sort of strategy session, planning out content, looking at the topics to cover, things that would be important. Just, I really think that's a good. I think, I don't know what to talk about or how to help people, and you guys can definitely help me with that. You can help. How are we going to put this together? What is the narrative? What are the topics that you think would help? So definitely, if you're interested in that, join a member. That definitely supports me. It supports the channel. And yeah, just join that conversation too if you would be interested, because that needs to come up. That's coming up soon. It's coming up soon too. So I'll be scheduling that members live soon, so we can have that discussion and conversation. I'll probably do it through Zoom, actually. I think I'll do it through. I think that will be the first one I'll do through Zoom, so you guys can all actually talk instead of just chatting, using the keyboard. But we'll do that through Zoom and just have a discussion, and then I'll just share my planning notes, my schedule that I have, and then we can just, I'll reveal my plans in a private member call. Exactly. Yes. Yeah. So we'll have a Zoom for that. For everybody who's either if you joined on the locals where we do the uncensored lives and stuff like that, or if you're, YouTube member, either one. I just have both because, it depends on which one people want. Some people want to like be on the locals, which is great and awesome. And also some people just, want to be on the members here. Either or, it's fine because we're going to do the Zoom discussion so we can actually talk about it. Because, I think, like, for example, I want to do something on the doublespeak, like stuff like this. Because I think doublespeak, and in terms of the woke doublespeak, is a really crucial thing. And just, and just all of these different topics. Shouldn't there be an evil laugh? I don't say them online. Yeah, the plans. Don't reveal your plans online. That's funny. Become a member, propaganda fluent. Yeah. Yeah, we all need this content. Thank you so much, Jojo. We all need this content because we already know the talking heads, the conservative talking heads are not going to do this. They're not going to talk about this. They're not going to go over it. They're too busy owning the libs. But no, I love everybody. I love all the support, all the work, everything that everyone's doing. But this is definitely needed. We need to be able to sell what it means to be free to somebody who's 22 years old. And right now, conservatives can't do that. They literally can't. They can't message to that at all. And we need to be able to do that. So that's one of the goals of the platform. Just see through it. So yeah, this has been a great live. I'm gonna do one next Friday as well. I think This Week in Propaganda is a good title. I think it's a good topic, and just putting together all the things that I'm just like losing my mind over all throughout the week, where I'm just like, this is such propaganda. Also consider that your Patreon is here goes in percent of 30% YouTube, whereas on other much larger. Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. No, I think the members thing will be open to everybody who, like, all the people who are supporters or members, whatever, even if it's locals, wherever you support me, you can get the link and I'll post it for you guys. So I think this is really good. We're going to do this next week. I appreciate all of you, all the support. And remember, we have to do this. This is up to us. No one's going to come save us. So we need to start selling freedom before they put us in a camp. So tired of the leftist utopia. No, I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't want to see any more lady penis. Yeah, we need to get the youth back. The conservative talking heads are worried about current voters and ultimately. That's true. They don't care about the youth. They don't care about the youth at all. They don't care. They don't have any strategies for that. I actually want to do an interview with someone who has run for office and, was in touch and very much a part of the California GOP. And I want to do an interview with him where he talks about it and he can like explain to you guys exactly how bad it is. So it's up to us. So thanks again. I'll see you guys soon and have a great weekend. Have a great weekend and stay free. Bye.